Hello everyone, we are going to talk about environmental regulations. Increasing pollution and pressures on natural resources lead to environmental legislations being designed to protect the environment from harmful actions. This law may regulate pollution, the use of natural resources, manufacturing, processing, distribution, and use of chemicals and other pollutants. Regulations explain the technical, operational, and legal details to implement these laws. So we have in here the 4 dimensions of the specific case of Mexico. And then is the first one is the Constitution, our Constitution, and after that the General Law of Ecological Balance and the Environmental Protection. This law it was conceived from the Constitution Articles 4, 25, 26, and 27, and 73. And we obtained that law, and then the specific regulations to operate that law. Then the 4th dimension is the official Mexican regulations on ecological balance and environmental protection, that we know them as NOMS. We have 31 state regulations and one specific for Mexico City, and we have national water and regulations on landfills, transport of hazardous materials and waste, that is specific for our environment as engineers. Then for this law, we can see here that the General Law of Ecological Balance and Environmental Protection. This is the acronym in Spanish, and we have different titles on different environmental issues. For example, we have in here the general provisions, articles 1 to 43. This is the preliminary rules and the environmental policies. And then the title 2 talks about biodiversity, the protected natural areas, the restoration areas, and the flora and the wildlife. So these protected natural areas is sometimes is used as like a landfill, and then the government changes the use of soil, and then the landfill ends in a construction. But we must try to respect this part, the protected natural areas. Then in the title 3 of this environmental law, we have the sustainable use of natural elements, articles 88 to 109. In here is described the sustainable use of water and aquatic ecosystems, and the preservation and sustainable use of soil. If you see, we are talking about the main resources, which is the water, which are water, soil, and some non-renewable resources in the ecological balance, like energy and some others. Then in Title 4, we have the environmental protections. This is to prevent, we have in here another, again the resources, but this is more specific to prevention and control. The air pollution, the water and soil pollution. These 3 are the main resources, and we have to control the pollution within them. And we have in here also the activities considered as highly risky, hazardous materials and waste. In this part is very important for us as engineers, because we have to learn how to handle these hazardous materials, especially in transportation issues and in the processes in a industrial plant. Another is the nuclear energy, noise, vibrations, thermal and light energy, and this is odors and visual pollution. This specifically, as engineers, is for the security within the industrial management, and we must know these limitations. In Title 5, we have the social participation and environmental information, and in here this is the right to environmental information. The public has the right to be informed about these environmental issues. The Title 6 is the control and security measures and sanctions. In the other titles we have all the regulations in here, all the policies on biodiversity, on natural elements, environmental protections, and then we have in here the sanctions. What happens if we don't obey these policies? Then we have inspection and monitoring, security measures, administrative sanctions, and about crimes of federal order, with in general has relation with this part of the protected natural areas. Sometimes some communities use those areas for another economic activity. So the regulations of the law, that are the specific procedures for this. We have technical issues on preventions and control of air pollutions, and we have protection of the environment against pollution caused by the emission of noise. This is very important also for us, the environmental impact, and the regulation for the prevention and control of pollution generated by motor vehicles circulating in Mexico. And we have a very close area here in Querétaro that is also regulated by this kind of regulations from the law. Then the specifics for each regulation, we have a collection of these norms that are with more technical and specific values to control the pollution. Then we have in here standards for pollution control, and we have industries, vehicles, environmental monitoring, and fuel quality. So we have also standards for control of hazardous waste from industries, and water pollution control, conservation of natural resources, and the ecological regulations and environmental impact standards. This we have to study very. It's very important to us as engineers, and standards for the noise control emission. Well, the four dimensions of the environmental laws are the Constitution, then the general law for environmental protection, and then the regulations which are the specific technical knowledge to apply the general law. So we have these dimensions, and then the norms, where is a fourth dimension, then where we have specific standards to control pollution and to manage the main resources, which are water, soil, and air.